This is like the breath of fresh air it needed, because it kind of becomes art house in a way. This Friday the 13th movie kind of becomes an art house film about the meditation on this killer's practices. It's kind of interesting.
Well, let me
you don't feel the same?
Well, okay.
The way that I would do it now in 2024, because it is 2024. Okay, starting off.
Was that him on the phone? We're never really told, But
I believe it is. And
Okay.
and my favorite, I mean, this movie throws a number of twists at you, but the first is that, yes, Jesus is German and he does wear sweaters. Confirmed. That is confirmed theology in the Seventh
It's
Sign.
better than in most movies where for some reason he is a feathered hair British actor, don't you think?
Right. Sure. I mean, yeah, I guess German is closer, ? But
Not really.
but it's something. And,
Can you not find a Palestinian actor, Hollywood, anywhere?
I guess not. Joya is a buxom centerfold working for Pussycat Magazine. In such a profession, having an admirer or two is expected.
I assume some of you are good people, but, so...
They call them crap hole countries. They do. And we hate them, folks. We do.
So that X-Files is worth looking up. If you've got Comet TV, which I think is a free app, Comet
What?
TV, they've got
That doesn't exist.
Yes, Comet TV.
You just made something up.
It's on Hulu. I'm sure it's on other things. You can find all the episodes of the X-Files on that now.
I'll believe it when I see it. Comet TV.
Comet TV, yes.
There's so many these days. It's not possible that all these are real.
Yep.
I believe that if you go to Comet TV, I feel like it'll just be like a 24/7 loop of like a GIF or something. I don't even, it's some kind of sick joke.
I have been watching Comet TV every night when I go to bed because I watch the X-Files every night when I try to fall asleep.
Oh man! All right, well,
There you go.
I'll take your word for it.
Bay of Blood, I mean, that was like the genesis of it all. Also, it has that Friday the 13th Part 2 spear bed kill done much better, I think. And also, as far as I know, the girl who gets speared is not underaged, which is a plus, I think. So, what was going on with that Friday the 13th Part 2? What was your... Come on now.
Peele and Ari Aster and Robert Eggers and Oz Perkins and all, just people just doing some great work and obviously loving the genre.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, it's like we go through these ebbs and flows, right? Where it's like, the late 90s, as far as horror goes, and then the 2010s start to bring it back. There's, the dip all through the 2000s, 2010s started to bring it back. We are kind of at the apex of that, and I fear what that could mean for our future, but for right now, let's just bask in the glow, let's enjoy the A24s and Monkey Paws of the world. Monkey Paw, ironically, now that I think about it, we're getting all these great films from Jordan Peele, but what will it cost? The characters in this film are what a middle-aged Italian man's idea of how cool American teens act. Shoplifting, hard rock, and Confederate flags. Yeah, what's going on with that? Speaking of middle-aged Italian men, we get a director's cameo in this film. Anyways, after their super cool van breaks down, because they drove it into a river, they inexplicably decide to camp in some nearby ruins, only to wake up in the middle of the night and discover a tavern complete with a Miller High Life neon sign beneath them. Inside, it's a dusty gothic cellar. Then they decide to order sausages in the middle of the night instead of asking for a phone. I'll have some of whatever Dardano Sacchetti was having when he wrote this. There's like a weird incest thing going on between this guy and his sister. They're always cuddling and pining after each other. I don't know what's going on with that. Also, one guy keeps taking his shirt off in the brisk, foggy night when everyone else is wearing jackets.
They telegraph part of the ending with that whole thing because they just barely kind of mention it at the beginning because it's coming somewhere with the Grove.
Yeah.
that he's a member of this secret society called the Grove, which there actually
Right.
is a secret society in
Bohemian
Beverly
Grove,
Hills,
yeah.
the Bohemian Grove, but it's just
Yeah.
an excuse for guys to go and party and act like frat boys when they're
Or
50.
so
I
they
mean,
say.
or
Or so
so-
they say. Alex Jones is going to expose it all, Dad. He's going to blow the lid right off it.
Yeah. Okay.
That's one of my
It-
favorite.
it-
Have you seen the video of Alex Jones outside the Bohemian Grove? It's
No.
maybe the funniest thing I've ever seen in my life. It's like you
No.
watch like George Bush drive in and he's just like chilling with a beer, and Alex Jones is like, and as you can see on the inside there, they're slaughtering goats and having sex with the
Oh my-
carcasses.
oh
It's the
my
funniest thing
gosh.
you'll ever look up. Alex Jones outside the Bohemian Grove if you want to have a laugh. What a-
It's basically the
dude.
California version of the Harvard Club. It's
right.
it's like one of the reasons the Harvard Club used to be so popular in like the 70s, 80s, and 90s, especially 80s and 90s, was you were not allowed to discuss business there.
Yeah.
So it was a place where like high rollers could go, and you weren't allowed to talk about politics or business. You could only talk about like yachting or horse racing or whatever, and
Golfing.
drink and
Yeah.
drink and drink a lot, you know. And they had like a limo service on call, so you weren't going to get a DUI. It's that kind of thing, and so. But they made it out to be something else. But as soon as I saw that in the opening, it's like, oh, he was a member of the Grove, and they're all wearing like, you know, they're all wearing the druid robes out in the middle of like I don't know where they were, some kind of forest. I guess it kind of implies it's, you know, the redwoods and, you know, in Northern California or something, I guess.
You're not driving out there from Hollywood. Just really a fear of the unknown, a fear of the future. And it's got Debbie Harry. So, enough said about that, I think. So yeah, S tier, easy S tier for Videodrome. Bobby Rhodes' Hank the hypertension-laden fitness instructor is the real standout here. Imagine the sweatiest man you can think of, then double the sweat factor.
Let's get out of here! Let's get out of here! Come on, don't move your ass! Get out of here! Stand back! Stand back! Yes, we can! That door leads to the garage! Now just take it easy! There you are! Get going!
Very trashy, very fun. Check it out.
Which is weird, right?
Yeah. Well, it is weird, but I can tell you why Megalopolis wasn't getting a trailer on there. It's because Coppola had to finance the advertising himself.
Wow.
So not a lot of ads. Distribution, production, marketing, everything that came out of his pocket. He sold a bunch of shares in his wine company to finance.
I was going to say, I knew that primarily these days he's overseeing his wine business. It sounds like what you're telling me, that he's violated Robert Loggia's advice from Scarface, and he's getting high on his own supply, is what it sounds like.
Yeah, he obviously was so drunk making this movie. It's insane. But here's the thing. I would recommend you watch it in a theater because it is an absolutely insane experience. I'll put it this way, just briefly, before we get back to Abigail. I described it this way I went to see this with a group of 10 people, by the way. We filled up an entire row to go see Megalopolis. And the way I describe the movie is, it is the most beautiful, ugly, tiny epic you will ever see in your life. It is both the grandest and tiniest and most awe-inspiring and horrifying film of all time. It's like a used car commercial if it was Ben-Hur. No, I can do better. It's like if Julius Caesar. It's Julius Caesar, right? But what if Caesar wanted to make a utopian city out of goo, and Shia LaBeouf was Hitler, and Aubrey Plaza played a character named Wow Platinum, and none of it made sense, and it was all amazing, and my favorite film of the year. Because I think that sums it up. It's not really my favorite of the but it was maybe the best theater experience I've had in a long time. It's absolutely insane. So yeah, definitely watch Megalopolis. Maybe there's an episode in the future on that.
Or maybe
back
if
to
you're,
Abigail.
and maybe the lesson is also, if you're 85 years old and you own a wine company, maybe it's time to stop making movies.
Yeah, I can't believe Sophia had to have seen. So he had to have shown this to Sophia, and she had to have been like, hey dad, this like doesn't make any sense. Like she had to have told him at some point. Like imagine if your dad came to you
Or
and
maybe
said,
he's
hey, I've
looking
got a
at his
movie.
nephew Nicholas and going, "Look what he's doing. I could do something like that."
That's true. Yeah, he saw Willy's Wonderland or whatever that movie was he did, and he was like, yeah. But yeah, Nicolas Cage, Sofia Coppola, they had to have seen early screenings of this movie and been like, hey, dad, or hey, uncle, this doesn't make any sense. You should definitely work on this more. Don't release this. Don't spend $400 million of your own money on this. And he said, I had no listen to you. I made Apocalypse Now. I know he doesn't have an Italian accent.
No,
But
he's from San Francisco. What do you think he talks like?
I made it The Godfather.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
Well, with Abigail.
Anyway.
With Abigail.
I do like Kill Baby Kill takes place in the Carpathian Mountains, possibly Transylvania. Buna to all my Romanians out there, what's up? Keeping it real. But I just
He's fantastic too.
And I did not, when I was watching, I was like, the guy who plays Ted, I was like, I know that guy. Where do I know that guy? And Gwillem Lee is his name. And of course, he is in one of your favorite movies of the last 10 years, Bohemian Rhapsody, playing.
Yes. He wasn't bad in Bohemian Rhapsody. He plays Brian May, right?
He plays Brian May, yes, in Bohemian Rhapsody. Yes.
He's great. He's fine. Don't love that movie. Don't love its director. But yeah,
I don't love the director either, but I do like the movie. But anyway.
Best editing winner, Bohemian Rhapsody. And while skiers aren't exactly my preferred social circle, at least they aren't claiming the Civil War is about states' rights. It's kind of it's like if the Matrix was like a weirdo pervert, and that's what Existenz is, and that's why I love it. I like that. I think that intro and then the first act are my favorite part of the movie. But I do have to say, I know it's been clowned on already, but the 10 studio logos at the beginning of the film, that's very funny. It's like everybody and their mom had $1 and a dream. It's exactly like, there's I know this is like Simpsons did it, but there's a Family Guy bit exactly like that, where
Really?
our Lord and Savior Peter Griffin
Oh gosh.
Lois sits down in the movie theater and it's just like logo after logo after logo. It's just like that. Did you notice that upon watching it? I was primed for it because I'd seen a meme about it on Twitter. But like,
I did not, because I was half making lunch and half watching it in order to prepare for this. So I did not notice that, but that is pretty funny. But
10 logos. Bobby Rhodes is back and sweatier than ever.
Will you get out of my way? What's the matter with you? Holy shit! She's a friend of mine! Hey, baby. Son of a bitch! Shit! She put on that mask and scratched herself. Get it? Because of that scratch, she became a demon. An instrument of evil. Like they said in the damn movie, you heard them. Right?
All right, for the last two videos, the first minute and a half was out of focus because autofocus just refused to find my face. So for this video, I'm just gonna sit here for a minute and a half, and hopefully by the end of that, it will be in focus and I can start the video. Oh, that's terrible. I guess there's no better time to finish this than right now. I mean, what am I doing? All right, well, I hope it's in focus. There's really no way of me knowing. I could turn the camera around and look at the footage I've recorded so far, but that would be so much work. So I'm just going to assume that it's perfectly in focus, and I'm going to continue with the video, and I'm sure this will not be funny in retrospect at all.
you know, if you figure it out from the get-go, well, so be it. But I mean, it's just because a movie like this, despite the fact that you've got the directors, what are they called? Brain farting right now. Tyler Gillett and Matt, what's his name? But anyway,
That's it. No, you got it, Matt. What's his name?
yeah, I can't remember. I'm old.
12 horror films directed by Lamberto Bava, ranked. What a ride. I would say it was full of peaks and valleys, but it was more like 10 consecutive alleys, followed by 2 just beautiful, super scenic neon vistas. I don't know, on revisiting some of these films to editing clips for this video, I was like, oh man, that was fun, I should go and rewatch that. And then I would sit down to rewatch it, and I would immediately remember why I gave it a 4.5 out of 10. I just think Lamberto Bava fares better when he surrounds himself with other talent, whether that's ADing on his dad's movies or co-directing with Argento. He really thrives under collaboration. He's like the Joe Biden of Giallo. I'm not a hater. I don't hate The Lady in the Water. I do think it's boring. So